Mamas, let your babies play. I don't have a lot of regrets about my parenting or homeschool decisions. Things I'd change, but not regrets. Not playing more is one of the few regrets I have. If you're new here, welcome. I am Tricia. I'm a homeschooling mom of 3 kids, and my oldest is getting ready to go off to college. And we just completed year number 13. And so in this season of life, I'm really thinking about doing a lot of reflection about what it means to be a parent, a homeschool parent, and my role as someone who's done 13 years of this, 17 years of parenting, and what I can pass on to you. So next up in my series of advice I've learned the hard way, this one. Now, before we get into my reasoning, I want to define what I mean by play. When I'm talking about letting them play more, I mean things like more creative play, open-ended play, running around outside, playing with the neighborhood, climbing trees, racing bikes, playing with Legos and blocks, that sort of play. I'm not talking about hours of video games, though I think video games in limited amount are not a detriment. But that's not the kind of play I'm talking about. I'm not talking about noisy toys that do everything for them. I'm talking about like the play that benefits their brain. There will always be time to mark off the check boxes later. There will always be that time. And there's going to come a time when your child goes outside to play with the neighborhood kids for the last time. And there's going to be a time when they pick up the toys to play with for the last time. And you're probably not going to notice. At the moment, at least. Right now in this culture, kids are growing up so quickly. And by homeschooling, we have a little extra opportunity to, I guess, to shield them, to protect them from having to grow up faster than they need to. Play is learning, right? They're making neural connections when they are using their imaginations, when they're outside running and being muscle play, making other connections in their brain. They're developing coordination skills. They are building their muscles and an active lifestyle. And all of that's good. And there are good reasons to like remind yourself that there's benefit of play. Like tangible or semi-tangible. We're not like observing their neural connection development, but you know what I mean? Like there's benefit. And when I started thinking about this video and making my notes, that's kind of where I went with it. But that's not all. It's not the only reason to do it. Because then it again becomes something to check off. Something to say that yes, I'm being a good homeschool mom because my child is developing coordination, and look at them using their left and right sides and midline crossing and all that. No, that's not what I want for you. I want your kids to play because there's going to come a time when they won't. And it's going to happen really quickly. And if your kids are still on the young side, it may feel like it's not really going to happen anytime soon, but it's going to. In our neighborhood, my boys are 12 and 14, and they still play outside. Now, my 14-year-old less than the 12-year-old, and part of that is just the age of the kids that are outside. But it's slowly happening. And while they're still willing to go outside, I'm really trying to preserve it. I have a general rule that if there are neighborhood kids outside wanting to play, school's not in session. That's not always quite the way it works out, but I try. Because since they're out of the home most of the day, when they do have time at home and time that they can play, I want my boys to have that opportunity. As personalities go, my youngest definitely benefited by being the youngest because I was distracted, especially with her, getting her school started, her days going, etc. That he just played a lot more because I had to focus on the older student, which was right, like I should have. I don't regret that. But I watch him now and I see that his academics have not been hurt by not spending as much time at the desk in front of work as early as my daughter did. Even when she was young, we were not a family who was like, let's sit at the table for 2 hours as a 5-year-old and get your work done. That wasn't us. But it was more because I let them play a lot when they in those early years because I was overwhelmed. My husband was deployed for quite a bit of their early years. And trying to occupy a baby and a toddler and a new kindergarten first grader, it was a lot, and I couldn't figure out how to manage it well, so I just let the boys play. And it was fine, but at the time I felt like I was being a bad homeschool mom for doing that, because homeschool world has changed a lot. You guys have heard me talk about this, and while there is still a lot of like early academics emphasis, there's also a lot more emphasis now that I see of kids playing and learning through play than when my daughter was that age. My throat is really dry today. So, little Publix lemonade, it was on sale. Buy one, get one free this week. So, yes, we played a lot, but I did it out of a sense of, always with the sense that I should be doing more academically. But I see how much they benefited from that. And how much they're not at a deficit because they played. Maybe I should phrase it that way. And I think that's really important to share, because as homeschool moms, we don't often, especially in the social media world, share where we failed. Or we share where we failed, but we do it in a very, still in a very social media way. You know what I'm talking about. I'm not trying to do that here. I'm trying to tell you for sure that this is where I failed. And I didn't know it at the time. Like I said, I thought I was letting them play because I wasn't doing things right, not because I was doing the right thing for them. So yes, let them play. Play is learning. There are all those benefits to it. There's also the sense that one day it's going to stop. And you're going to be graduating your senior and packing them up for college. And you're going to wish that they had just a little bit more time to be a child. Also investment in your attitude about what play should look like. Investment in those opportunities in your home that allow for that. So I'm not talking about spending the money on like I said, a video game system. We don't need that. But what open-ended toys can you play with? In our homeschool, sometimes, even still, at 12 and 14, they'll sit around and play with magnet tiles while I read. or we've got some Duplos that have been in our schoolroom. They've always been in our schoolroom, like since we got them 12 years ago. They'll play with those while I read, create scenes out of them. We do Lego challenge cards. I've got some over on my website, some free ones and such over my blog. I'll try to remember leave the link below. It looks like board games, maybe, if your family likes board games, puzzles, art supplies, if that's what your kids enjoy. It means you investing in the time to encourage them to go play and a laid-back attitude about it. It means you modeling it, you having fun doing things. Let them play, mamas. Let them play. If you want to know some of our other kind of open-ended creative toys that we've always kept in our schoolroom, click on the video on your screen, and I'll see you over there.